In this video, I am going to share with you how to crochet a perfect square with no gaps. So let's get started. Hey guys, welcome to DIY Crafts. For this project, I am using a 4-ply medium weight acrylic yarn. However, you can use your favorite yarn along with its suitable hook size. Now let's begin. Here I am using a 4mm hook to get the closer and tighter stitches. Begin with a magic ring and then make chain 4. This chain 4 gives the first corner of our square, and we all know that square will have 4 corners and 4 sides. So we are going to create all those corners and sides using crochet stitches. This first chain 4 in row 1 considers the first corner of the square, and for the side I am going to make double crochet stitches. So 3 double crochet stitches on each side. That's the second double stitch and then the third double stitch. So now the first corner and first side of the square is completed. Now let's make the second corner of the square. So for this I am using triple crochet stitch to give that curve shape on the corner. This completes the second corner, and now I am making the second side again using a double crochet stitches, which means 3 double crochet stitches to make the side of a square. That's the second double stitch and then the third double crochet stitch. So we have completed 2 corners and 2 sides. Now let's make the third corner of the square. Again for this corner we are using a triple crochet stitch. Now the third side of a square again using 3 double crochet stitches. So yarn over, drop a loop from the center and make a double crochet stitch. That's one. This one is the second double stitch and then the third double stitch. So 3 sides of the square is now completed. Now let's make the fourth corner, and for this corner make a triple crochet stitch. Once this corner is also done, let's make the fourth side of the square. Again last 3 double crochet stitches into the center. That's the first double stitch, second one and then the third one. So once all the stitches are completed, make a slip stitch onto the top of the fourth chain that we have done on the first stitch. So that's chain 1, 2, 3 and 4, and into the fourth chain grab the back loop and make a slip stitch. So now pull the tail end tightly to close the magic ring, and this completes the first row of the square. So if you observe closely, all the triple crochet stitches forms the corners of the square and the double crochet stitches forms the sides of the square. Now the pattern starts from the second row, and from this row the pattern repeats the same for each and every row. So observe carefully. Begin with the chain 4 which forms the first corner, and now put a stitch marker into the fourth chain so that you do not miss where to make a last slip stitch. You can do this in your first row as well. And now into the same stitch where you have started the chain 4, make 2 more double crochet stitches, which means we are doing a DC increase into that particular stitch. So your chain 4 and 2 double crochet stitches will stay in the single stitch. Okay, and now coming to the side of a square. In this side we have made 3 double crochet stitches in your first row. Now into the second row as well we are going to make 1 double crochet stitch over each and every stitch in the first row, which means we have 3 double stitches in first row. We have to make 3 double crochet stitches in the second row as well. So 1 over the each one. That's the third one. So this forms the side of a crochet square. 3 stitches over the 3 base stitches, and now here we have come to the second corner of the stitch. So in this corner we have to make 5 stitches. Observe carefully. First we have to make 2 double crochet stitches for the first side, And then for the corner we have to make 1 triple crochet stitch into the same stitch, and then make 2 more double crochet stitches into the same stitch for the second side. So in each corner space we are going to make 2 double crochet stitches for the first side, 1 corner stitch, and 2 double crochet stitches for the another side, which means total 5 stitches will be worked only in one single corner stitch. And now continue to make the side of a square. We have 3 stitches in the previous row, so make 3 double stitches in the second row as well. That's the second one, and then the third one. And now this pattern keeps on repeating. We have reached the third corner of the square, and in this corner we have to again make 5 stitches. So start with 2 double crochet stitches for your second side. Now make 1 triple crochet stitch for the corner. That's 1 triple crochet stitch, and then make 2 more double crochet stitches for your third side. So this completes the corner part of the third one. The third part of the square. You see the shape because of the 5 stitches, and with the center stitch being a triple stitch, you will get that corner curve of the square. And then in the next side make 3 double crochet stitches over the previous 3 double crochet stitches. And then we will reach to the last corner of the square, that's the fourth corner. Now make 2 double crochet stitches for the third side, 1 triple crochet stitch for the corner, and 2 more double crochet stitches for your fourth side. That's the corner stitch, and now I am making the 2 double crochet stitches for the fourth side. So 1 more double stitch into the same corner stitch, and we have come to the fourth side of the square, where we have to make 3 double crochet stitches over the previous 3 double stitches. That's 1, 2, and 3. Now if you notice, in the first step we just made chain 4 and 2 double stitches in the first stitch, which means this corner is incomplete. We have to make the last 2 double crochet stitches into that stitch. So instead of inserting the needle into the same particular stitch, I am using the slip stitch over here to make that last 2 double crochet stitches for the fourth side. If not, you can use the same hole, but I prefer using this slip stitch instead. So now remove your stitch marker and make a slip stitch onto this fourth chain, which we are considering it as a triple crochet stitch, and this completes your second row. If you notice, you can clearly see the shape of a square. Now if you want to check whether your square is correct or not, just count the number of stitches on each side, that is in between the triple crochet stitches in corner. Each side will have 4 additional stitches compared to the previous row, which means if your first row has 3 stitches on sides, second row will have 7, third row will have 11, and fourth row will have 15, and so on. Also, all sides should have equal number of stitches, which makes the square perfect. Now let's start making the third row. I hope you guys have now got the hang of the pattern. Now we are going to begin with the chain 4 for the first corner, and mark the fourth chain to know where you have to make the slip stitch. Now into the same stitch make 2 double crochet stitches. That's first one and then the second one. And in the second row for the sides we'll have 7 double crochet stitches. So make 1 double crochet stitches over each and every stitch in the previous row, so that you'll have to make 7 double stitches here. So yarn over and make 1 double crochet stitch in each and every stitch. So that's the first double stitch, and then the second one, third, fourth, fifth, 6th, and then the 7th one. Now we have reached the corner stitch, and this corner stitch is where we have to make 5 stitches, 2 double crochet stitch for your side 1. So that's the first one and then the second one. And now make the corner stitch with a triple crochet stitch. So that makes the second corner of the square. Make the last 2 double crochet stitches into the same stitch for the second side. So this makes the first corner, the second corner. Now make 7 double stitches on the second side. So let's start making it. That's the first double stitch. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So counting while you are working actually helps you so that you don't have to cross check each and every time you complete a row. And now make a corner stitch. That's 2 double crochet stitches, 1 triple stitch and then 2 double crochet stitches, all these into the same stitch. So that's the corner stitch, 2 DC, 1 DC and 2 DC. And then again make the side. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Again we have to make the corner stitch. So let's begin. That's the triple stitch. Insert and make first 2 DCs. That's 1 and then 2. Now make a corner stitch, a triple crochet. Again make a 2 double crochet stitches into the same stitch. So that's 1 and 2. Now we have come to the last side of the square. Make the last 7 double crochet stitches for the side. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. And for the first corner we have to make 2 double crochet stitches into the slip stitch. So this completes the third row as well. Make a slip stitch into the stitch where we have put the stitch marker. So take out the stitch marker, insert your needle into that particular stitch and then make a slip stitch. And this completes your third row of the square. And keep on adding rows until you reach your required length of your square. And you can use these squares for your coasters or handbags, backpacks, a blanket or anything. You can play with your colors and everything. Now this is the end of my fourth row, as I am planning to making them as a coasters. So I just have made 4 rows. After completing it, make chain 1 and make the final knot. And this is how the square looks like after completing the 4 rows. There will be absolutely no gaps, no chain 1 spaces and no center gap as well. So this forms a perfect solid square. Now using a tapestry needle, weave in those ends and hide the tail end. After weaving in, you can snip off the excess thread. For this, just take the tail end into the tapestry needle and weave in the ends as shown in the video. Just pass your tapestry needle through few stitches back and forth or any kind of stitch. It's not particularly you have to insert only these loops. You can insert into any of the loop just to hide the tail end for few stitches. The main reason you hide these stitches before you cut the excess thread is to keep your project safe even after frequent usage or even after frequent washes as well. Now that this tail end is hidden, let's hide the starting tail end as well. As we are using a magic ring here, I am first securing it with a knot and then hiding the tail end across the few stitches. And now trim the excess thread using a cutter. And that's it. Your crocheted solid square with no gaps is now ready. I hope you all enjoyed watching this tutorial. Do give this a try and let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. See you all in the next video. Thank you for watching. Please like the video, share it and subscribe to DIY Crafts.